every sign seems to point to higher prices, but all they keep doing is going down. Do we have any idea why?
Well, yeah, absolutely. It just feels as if the oil markets had the equivalent of a writer's block. Anything that happens, almost every single news that we have is bullish. But there's just no confidence in that it actually reflects the market realities. I mean, there are several explanations. The big real explanation is that everyone is afraid of the recession and no one really wants to invest. The second smaller explanation is that we have December, and December usually is already the down season of trading. So not that many people want to put their money into a really, really profitable 2020 and mess up their profits, which they have tallied. So those two combined get into a picture where people don't want to get into the markets. Liquidity is really thin. And in the end, a clear bullish signal, such as the Keystone Pipeline force majeure, which is a big thing. I mean, you have OPEC plus countries, many actually OPEC plus countries whose production is smaller than the actual throughput capacity of that pipeline. We don't actually know when the pipeline is going to come back, and there's no actual end result of that happening. It's really, really weird. And basically, this is what happens if the market grows to a really, really thin layer of liquidity, as we have been seeing.
Yeah. Yeah, and for our viewers that may not have heard of it, there's a big spill in the pipeline, the Keystone. They think Keystone, I thought that didn't happen. That was the Keystone XL. We'll see when this Keystone Pipeline, Victor, gets fully much back up and running. Let's talk about India. How much oil is India buying right now?
It's a lot. I mean, the overall assumption, again, with the Russian oil price cap, was that the effect would be almost immediate. Something would be felt by the market. Well, one thing that I think many of us, myself included, did not really anticipate is how strong Indian buying of Russian oil would be. I actually counted the first decade of Russian loadings, the Europe-bound cargoes, and 18 out of 22 cargoes went to India. Almost every single cargo loaded in December is going towards India from the European ports of Russia. It's huge. It's so huge that month on month the loading levels are almost double what they used to be in November. So it's quite big,
wow.
Which also means that the oil price cap on Russia never really had the physical supply disruption effect to it. So this might be one.
Well,
to be
fair, Victor, that price cap just kicked in. I mean, if there is going to be all the ships that are on the water right now with Russian oil in them going through the Bosphorus or whatever, getting stopped for a bit last week, checking insurance documents, those ships were probably loaded before the price cap kicked in. So there might be a lag effect there. Russia says it may cut production. But what about China? If China really, quote, reopens, it could still take a while before we see meaningful flows to China. Could it not? It's not going to flip a switch and happen overnight.
Absolutely. I mean, from what we have seen so far in terms of buying and purchasing activity, it's still relatively weak. With China, you have two problems. The first is that you have an easing of restrictions, which should be a very, very bullish signal. But the market activity is still not yet there. So that's point number one. Point number two, trust is somehow not really the same after October, November, when we had literally the same story. Everyone was anticipating easing restrictions, and then bam, you have an all-time high in COVID cases and lockdowns. So the market doesn't really want to trust China that much right now. It wants to wait out what happens, see if cases go down, see if the actual easing of restriction doesn't lead to another catastrophe in terms of daily cases. And then once it's already in the clear, once there's confidence that this will actually happen, only then will it react. Right now, there's just no trust